How a manager bounces back from a setback is a testament of his will and his character. This will be the case for Michael Carrick when Manchester United slugs out against Aston Villa by this weekend. Listen, it is going to be very, very interesting game because we are going to be looking at sitting pretty in the third position, going 3 points off Aston Villa. That is if we are able to beat Aston Villa, or going 1 point off Aston Villa. That is if we are going to draw against Aston Villa, or Aston Villa retains their third position. That is if we lose against Aston Villa. All of this can happen, but then any which one will happen will actually give us an idea of who Michael Carrick is whenever he faces a setback. That brings me to the managerial issue at Manchester United. Remember, I reported it here that Manchester United will be looking at signing a manager before the World Cup begins. The reason is this: they want to actually have a manager that will be proactive, scout players, monitor players during the World Cup, and prepare the team for preseason. This is going to be very crucial window. The summer window is going to be very crucial window for Manchester United, because if Manchester United get Champions League football, it simply means that we are going to be going out there to recruit more players. And if we are recruiting more players, it simply means that we need to have a manager that will identify the players that he will be needing, right? And this brings me to the forefront, to the managers who have the forefront right now. Yes, we have Julian Nagelsmann in the list. We have Roberto, who has indicated interest, who has practically said that managing Manchester United is his dream career, and he knows that probably he has the ability to do it. So Roberto is there, Julian Nagelsmann is there, Michael Carrick, who is the interim manager at Manchester United, is also there. Now, if we look at the profile of these managers, we can actually deduce which Manchester United probably might be going for. Let us look at Roberto De Zerbi. Roberto De Zerbi is a manager that likes to attack and that likes to play the high press and the high line in defensive area, and which actually for me is a very risky style of football in England, because in England we have really pacey attackers, really pacey midfielders, and whenever you do that high line of a team, it is easy for these guys to break that offside trap and get in, yes, against you. Now, if we are looking at defenders like Harry Maguire, defenders like Matthias Zilic, who are not so fast, we can actually have players who can beat that offside trap and get in on a counter against Manchester United. And that is why that style of play is actually I'm very skeptical of that style of play. If we look at Julian Nagelsmann is the manager that loves fluid football, right? He loves to move the ball, in very, very uniform fashion, fast, slow, pacey, whichever way. He just likes to move the football, and it has been shown that he loves he can actually adapt to different formations, the 3-4-2-1 system, 4-2-3-2 system, whatever formation. He's just a manager that has shown that he can adapt to different formation. He's a manager that has shown that he can actually make do of what he has and make the best of what is available to him. That is Julian Nagelsmann. While for Michael Carrick, we have seen him as a very pragmatic kind of manager who loves to play possession football, likes to hold on to the ball, patient with the build-up, and before going into the attack. It's often said that Michael Carrick does not have plan B. But then we are going to be looking at him during the course of the remainder of the 10 games and see if Michael Carrick might actually show us that it is not all about this is not all about him. There are more actually to come from him, and all of those. So when we look at all of these managers' profile, you would agree with me that Julian Nagelsmann fits the bill somehow. It looks like he's that manager that might be able to do it. But one problem I have with Julian Nagelsmann is that I've not seen a German manager actually do very, very, very well in England. If you want to name Jurgen Klopp for me, I'll tell you that Jurgen Klopp did not own football in England, because if you go by what Jurgen Klopp did in England, it took him about 7 or 8 years to win one English title, one European title, when there was a manager in that position that was winning the English title back to back to back. So for me, I would not say that Jurgen Klopp did well. I just feel like he came into a place that was being dominated by a Spaniard, and he was second. He was second, the best he could actually be, because in that era and in that period, even after Jurgen Klopp won the Premier League, the next season he came third. So it would not be like this guy actually dominated, just like what Mikel Arteta is doing now with Arsenal. He's been there for like 7 years, and he's not won anything. He's been building a team. If he goes ahead to win the Premier League this season, you cannot tell me that Mikel Arteta actually dominated the Premier League. No way, because he's come second, and the time he started, he didn't. So for me, no manager has been able to dominate the Premier League in the era of Pep Guardiola. So if we have to bring in a manager right now, we are not bringing in a manager that will come and push Pep Guardiola away. We are bringing a manager that will build the team. And if we are going to be building the team, right, I'm going to be looking at Michael Carrick, because one thing for that edges it for Michael Carrick is that he has the DNA of the club. He understands how the club has to play. A lot of times, this club is a club that builds superstars, that transform players from stars to superstars. You can count players that have come out of Manchester United to become global stars. There is something called a structural play, system play, and there is something about Manchester United giving players the freedom to go express themselves. And this is something I've seen with Michael Carrick, giving players that believe in themselves, that freedom to go and express themselves, a player taking the bull by the horn, and all of those things. So for me, I think that in as much as Julian Nagelsmann looks like a manager that might be able to, bring it up, hold it down for Manchester United, I am not seeing him dominate. But I'm also looking at Michael Carrick in his fold. This guy is someone that knows the club so well. He can actually build the club from scratch. And if the board is going to support him 100%, he will. I feel like he is also going to get it, because if we want to be giving the job to a young, inexperienced coach, it is not Julian Nagelsmann now. What is Michael Carrick doing? Because if we look at Michael Carrick, he's gone there. He knows it. He's inside. We are judging him right now. His report card is there. If he goes ahead to do well in the next 10 games, what happens with, letting him know that, okay, you know what? Because you are going to develop the youth system. You are going to bring in players for cheap money. Like, all of these things is going to happen. We are not bringing in Michael Carrick as an elite coach. We are bringing him as a manager to manage, a coach that will coach the players and put them in the right trajectory. Because if we go carry Julian Nagelsmann, it still feels like we are bringing an elite coach. But then look at it: is Julian Nagelsmann an elite coach in the right sense of it? This guy has only coached in Germany, and he's not done anything outside Germany, and that does not make him an elite coach. Look at the likes of Don Carlo Ancelotti. Look at the likes of Jose Mourinho. Look at the likes of Luis Enrique, the likes of Pep Guardiola. These guys are people you can call the elite coach. Yes, Jurgen Klopp. Yes, you can call him an elite coach. But you cannot call Julian Nagelsmann an elite coach, because he's not done it anywhere. There are no, be Bayern Munich, you will take 10 and say you don't do it. Right? So for me, I'm going to be looking at, the profile of Michael Carrick at the end of the season. I already have the profile of Julian Nagelsmann. I already know what I'm to expect from Roberto De Zerbi. But Michael Carrick, he's in the job, he's in the interview, and we are looking at him to impress. So tell me, who among these managers do you think might just be the right manager to coach Manchester United? I'll be in the comment section. See you again in my next video.